I want to leave y'all with one real short story. I know some of y'all have heard this before as I've talked about it, but I get teased sometimes for bringing up my father's name and when I get into different locations. I'm really proud to be Ned McWherter's son. I think he's a great man and a great advisor. And after 54 years, I've learned to listen to him a good bit. But he was turning 79 on October 15th of last year. And I went to him at that time and I said, Dad, what can I buy you for your birthday? And he said, oh, Mike, there's really nothing you can get me. And I said, well, I'd like to get you something. And he said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to buy a convertible. Now, the side to this story is I'm in that convertible today. We drove up in it. That's primarily because I ran over a deer on Sunday night as I was driving to his lake house, and so I've got my car at the body shop this morning. So I borrowed the convertible. But he said, I'm going to buy a convertible. And I said, why would you want to buy a convertible, Dad? I mean, the man's 79 years old, we're both bald, and he doesn't drive a whole lot. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And he said, well, Mike, you're going to find this out this spring and this summer, but literally all of these communities will have a parade or a festival, and you can't possibly go to all of those. So I sort of think they may want me to come and ride in some of those. And I said, well, you're right, but Dad, they normally furnish you a car. And he said, well, you'll find that out too. It's some kind of low slung thing, and gravity will get me down in it, but I need a crane to get me up out of it at the end of the parade. So about 3 weeks later, I was over in Knoxville at the Truman Day dinner, and I had a gentleman walk up to me and said, hey, how involved do you think your father will be in your campaign? And I said, do you know him? And he said, well, yeah, I know him pretty well. And I said, well, he's planning to go buy his own convertible parade car. I think he's going to be pretty engaged. And so the guy wrote an article, and he headlined it, McWherter to go topless in campaign. I guarantee you everybody read that article. We really need your help on the Democratic side. I'm delighted to be down here today. I'm going to go do a McWherter Works tour here in a few minutes at Interstate Barbecue. I invite all of y'all to come out and be with us there. I've shoveled mulch. I built a couch that they probably want to sell us a second if you want to know the truth about it. I have balanced tires. I've rotated tires. I've built pallets. I'm scheduled to work in a nursing home coming up here pretty soon. I've pretty much done several different odd jobs. And what I found is I'm pretty handy. My wife would not describe me that way, but I find that I'm really pretty handy as I've moved around the state. I've spent some time really visiting with all the leadership across this state, and I think it's important to listen to the people of this state about what they want their governor to focus on now. And you really only get them to open up to you and talk to you after you've worked shoulder to shoulder with them for a few minutes. But then I tell you, you get some really good advice. And this has been one of the most rewarding things that I've done in this campaign is being able to go out and work with people all across the state who make a difference, who are trying to educate their children and raise their families with some dignity. And they've got good advice. They'll tell you where the government needs to be focused and what the governor needs to be focused on. So I've really enjoyed that. I hope y'all will consider coming out and joining us. But we'll be back in Shelby County many times. And I'm looking forward. And if you got any advice about some different places I might work, please feel free to contact us, because that's something that I've really enjoyed doing, and I think it's really important as we move across the state. I just want to close by saying this one more time. We really, and it's a collective statement, need your help and need your support to make this come together for the working families of Tennessee. You know, I've never believed in the trickle-down theory. I believe in the trickle-up theory. If the families in this state and across the country are successful and doing well, the country and the state will prosper. But the key to that is making sure they've got jobs. And that's going to be my focus, and that's what I'm going to be talking about as I move all across this state. Thank y'all so much for letting me be here with you.